testing with that earlier. We'll see how that plays out. And there is Chris's, looks like his straw car. Let's try doing this. We'll have to see if it refreshes here in a few minutes and updates so we can see it. As you see him wind around, looking through the field, looks like Tom Land is actually the fastest so far tonight in the 91. Brian Mansfield is currently second. Mike Killenbeck third. Edward Belair is in fourth, and Mark Belair is in fifth. Chris Rawlings is sixth fastest. Matt Stewart is seventh fastest, and Gerald Thanos Poole currently eighth fastest. It does look like Thanos has not got any drafting help yet, but looks like he's getting packed up with these guys, so he might get some. We'll start seeing. There's what you can get used to seeing. What you'll see of tonight, them being 3 wide is no big surprise at any point on the track. The question is, how wide will they finish the race? We saw 4 wide finish at Daytona. We've seen 4 wide finishes at Indy. We've seen a 5 wide finish here, and they all end in disaster just past the start finish line. So we will see how that plays out as well. And there's Tom Land hanging back. They did say that some of the aero effects since the last update seem to be. There we go. They did say some of the aero effects are different tonight. So since the last update, the aero's been a little bit different. You almost have to be pushing each other. We see a lot of bump drafting in these cars at this track, so we will see if that comes into play even more than usual. We'll have to see if Chris's paint scheme refreshes or not. Or let's take a quick look close up. Looks like the same paint scheme he was running last week, so we'll just have to wait and see if it updates for the race. Yep, Bill, I just caught that. And while we're waiting on them to get started, definitely go like, share on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We are live on Facebook and Twitch at the moment. And you definitely do not want to miss out on this exciting race here tonight. As we have just under 5 minutes left to go, we'll take another look back at Chris's car, see if it's updated yet. No, it has not. Try something real quick. All right, while his car is updating, we'll look as they go 4 wide into turn 3 up here. And the camera angles will have to be a little bit different once the lights go out tonight. It is going to be a bit different. You can see the lights starting to come on the cars as it's starting to get a little bit darker. It will be pitch black once they go green flag racing. That's what's going to make it exciting. So go definitely share it with your friends. Share the broadcast with your friends, family, and anybody who might find a very interesting race. Still not seeing a huge change out of Chris's car tonight. Nope, same one he had last week. He may have had a problem loading. And it looks like now Thanos is the fastest car on track. Not really surprised by that. Gerald Thanos Poole is always fast in these cars, and especially at these super speedways. His struggle has always been saving enough fuel to make it to the finish line. We'll see if he can pull that one off tonight. And you can see off in the distance the sun is going down as they wrap up the practice session, getting ready to drop the green flag in the dark. We are live on Facebook, on Twitch. The videos will go up on YouTube later tonight. And all sorts of other fun stuff. There will be race streams tomorrow night, so you can see, or tomorrow during the day, so you can see just how bad I am. While these guys will definitely put on a heck of a show tonight. All right, as they wrap up, get ready to go to qualifying. Fastest on the track has been Gerald Thanos Poole, followed by Chris, aka Dougman Standridge. Tom Land is in third, Mark Belair fourth, Edward Belair fifth, Matt Stewart sixth fastest, Brian Mansfield back in seventh, Mike Killenbeck eighth, Doug Tyer Thomas ninth fastest, Chris Rawlings 10th, James Belair and James Johnson rounding out the field. And while we're waiting on them to finish up, remind you, go check out B-Make Designs, one of the league sponsors. Definitely want to give them a shout out, graphic designers. You definitely want to go check them out for all your graphic design needs, as well as MotoWear International. And I do not see anything different to Chris's car tonight at all. So maybe it will refresh for the race and we'll see. I've tried refreshing it a couple times. I don't know what excitement he has in store for us, but I am sure it's going to be quite comical. All right, we will get ready to start qualifying here. As the sun continues to set on Talladega, Alabama. Still no change in Chris's paint scheme, I see. And let's see what Thanos is rocking tonight. He running a slightly different paint scheme tonight than what we usually see him in. Thanos, master of the universe. Yep. Leave it to Gerald. Let's see. Mike Killenbeck is also on track. Looks like he is using the back straightaway to warm his tires up just a little bit, try and get some advantage here. Tom Land also out doing his qualifying run. looks like that is James Belair's new paint scheme as well. That is the new B-Make Designs logo. We'll find that all over on future broadcasts. Had time to get it put on, but it is obviously not correct, so. We'll have that ready for him. It just got it done earlier today. And currently fastest on track is Brian Mansfield in the one car, Matt Stewart. But Tom Land comes around and knocks him off the pole. However, everybody is on their second lap of qualifying now, so we will see how this plays out. And looks like qualifying is just about done for most of these guys. They do have a longer qualifying session, but most of these guys are just about done with their qualifying run. We will see if they advance here momentarily and get ready to go racing. I guess we'll know the moment it advances, everything will go dark. And looks like qualifying, everybody has finished qualifying. Tom Land will be on the pole. Gerald Poole comes in second. Brian Mansfield third. Mark Belair fourth. James Johnson fifth. Matt Stewart sixth. Mike Killenback seventh. Edward Belair will be eighth place. Superman Norman Chan is ninth. James Belair is 10th. Doug Thomas is 11th. Christopher Rawlings is 12th. And Dogman or Dougman Standridge, aka Chris Standridge, will be rounding out the field in 13th. And then we have no idea, other than their practice race, how this is going to play out once the lights go out. Their practice race, they only had one caution that actually threw, but they had several different incidents. They said being on the right side of the car is difficult anyway. It throws you off if you're not used to it, and then you're in the dark 2 inches from each other. These cars do a ton of side drafting and a lot of nose to tail drafting as well. So we'll see how this all plays out here shortly. It's definitely going to be an interesting show tonight. We will be using some unusual camera angles tonight just to be able to see what is going on. And as I mentioned earlier, we will have the back of the field. They will be lighting up the cars in front of them for us to see, but it'll be very difficult to see the cars in the back. When I tested this earlier with some AI and a different car, the different car had a little bit brighter lights, so it was definitely a bit different once you're in a pack. And when I tested the SR8 here, these guys are really good at driving these cars on these bigger tracks. They are used to racing each other. They put on a great show every week, but it is definitely going to be a different adventure altogether tonight. So we will see how this plays out. 3 minutes left in their qualifying. Everybody is done, so they should advance once everybody is settled in. We're going to try one thing real quick. See if we can... All right. Minute 53 left to go. They should be advancing just at any point now. Fastest so far has been Tom Land tonight, both in practice and obviously in qualifying. He is on the pole for this race. And don't forget, while we're waiting, while you have a minute, go to YouTube and like and follow on that page. You can go to Facebook and to Twitch. We'll have some great racing streams tomorrow, including some Rallycross and Pro 4 with Jared Heasley. Maybe some dirt oval stuff, and then we'll probably go play at Daytona and Talladega with everybody else this week. And don't forget to tune in on Sunday night for the BRR Racing League at 7:30 Eastern. They are broadcast right here. Monday nights we do have the Outcast Dirt Boys. The 305s start at 8:30 Eastern. The 358s at 10 Eastern. Tuesday nights we have the XCal Racing League, the Street Stocks at 7:30 Eastern. This week they're going to Bristol Motor Speedway. That'll be exciting to watch. And of course on Wednesday nights we have the Northeast Racers at 7:30 Eastern, followed by the Outcast SR8s at 9 Eastern, who are getting ready to go green flag racing right now. Doesn't look like it's gone dark yet on us, but you can tell the car lights are definitely on. And it looks like Michael Thomas, Michael Granels, and Derek Turner did not qualify. They're going to start at the back of the field. Flipped a few switches, but still just happened to see the straw car of Chris Standridge. We'll see if we can swap some stuff around here in a little bit and maybe get to see his new paint scheme. And they're just waiting on one or two cars, and then we will go green flag racing. Do a quick adjustment here again and see if that will show us Chris's car. And it is still refreshing, but they are starting to move. as the 2 car is dropping to the back of the field, it looks like. But up front, they will lead around for their one and only pace lap, and then we will get the green flag when the pace car drops off on the coming out of turn 4. And the 25 of Gerald Thanos Pool up there on the outside, as we mentioned earlier in the race. The last few super speedway races, he's run out of fuel, so we'll see if he tucks in behind and tries to save some fuel, or if he goes for it from the word go. Lights are coming on as it is getting dark very quickly at the track. And you can see the sun is just about gone. It is only, the track has no track lighting. All they've got is the lights on these SR8s. They are not the brightest lights of any race car out there by any means. So this is definitely going to be an interesting race as it gets darker. And if I'm not mistaken, there are no track lights on pit road either, so that's going to be even more interesting if they have to make any pit stops, especially green flag pit stops. But seeing your pit board with no lights over it's going to be a little bit tricky any way you look at it. All right. Outcast boys getting ready to go green in the SR8s at Talladega at night. No lights, and the fans are in the stands ready to go. Pace car is in. And here they come. Down towards the start finish line. It is almost at the entry to turn 1. Green flag is in the air. Tom Land leads them down to the start finish line. Thanos still up there on the outside going into turn 1. And here in a lap or two we will hop in one of these cars and you'll see why this is just so comical the way they're doing this in the dark with these lights, as it looks like we've got one trying to slide into the bottom line, just barely enough room, but he gets in there. These cars do punch a big hole in the air. They get a big run. When you get some momentum, you take it, you go where you can. We will see what happens. Let's take a closer look. It looks like it might have updated the 2 cars paint. Oh my God. We will not be looking at the 2 car anymore tonight. The 91 of Tom Land still leads after the first lap. The 25 of Gerald Thanos Pool to the outside. The 1 car of Brian Mansfield, the Hooters car, down there on the inside line right behind them. They are playing it pretty safe for the moment. I do not expect to see 3 wide racing. Last time they were here, they didn't go 3 wide for a few laps. They took it fairly easy early on, but it looks like we might have a car out there to the outside. I do believe that is the 007 on the outside. Yes, it is. That is Belair, Edward Belair. On the outside, making it 3 wide, and you can get a lot of side draft in these cars, so we'll see what happens here. He's got some help coming up behind him. We'll see if he can get, he's got some help from the 2 car. We will see if he gets any kind of advantage. If they get some more help, that outside line can be fast. The 01 car right there in the middle of this mess. Let's ride along with him. And you can see as it gets dark, there is no track lighting. He is right in the middle of a 3 wide situation going through 1 and 2. They are holding it full throttle, dragging the brakes to make sure they don't run into the car in front of them, trying to just play it safe for now. 40 laps, they will have to stop at least once to top off on fuel, so Thanos will definitely have the fuel strategy in his favor this time around if he can get up there to the lead, as the 007 is there on the outside, starting to move up just a little bit. Not getting down, getting close, getting that side draft quite yet as they come out of turn 4. Coming down the front straightaway, the start-finish line is at the exit of the front straightaway, exit of the trioval. There it is. That is a lap around Talladega, 3 wide in an SR8 at night in the dark, just running the lights. And they are 3 wide, looks like 2 deep at the moment, but they're trying to make it 3 wide, 3 deep at the moment. And we've got 3 cars a little bit back there, as you see some sparks flying when coming down the back straightaway. Got a couple of cars off the back. That is Michael Reynolds, James Belair, and Doug Thomas back there, along with Superman Norman Chan. And you often see those 3 or 4 cars back there off the back, just hanging out, playing it safe early on in the race. They know they're going to have to make 1 pit stop tonight to top off on fuel. They can only go about 34 to 36 laps here on fuel. Could see several different fuel strategies. Some of them may go at the halfway point. Here in about 2 or 3 laps, they will be at a point where they can go the rest of the way on fuel. And it would be advantageous to pit early as possible, because your pit stop will take far less time. As they come out of turn 2, they are starting to spread out 3 wide on the back straightaway. And they are 3 wide at the front, 3 wide in the second row, 3 wide in the third row. Looks like that front row is drifting back just a little bit. They just cannot carry enough momentum on the high side, at least not yet. And so much for playing it safe. Several of these guys 3 wide, looking for any way through the 25 and the 91. Gerald Poole, Tom Land, they have the front row for the moment. As we've seen in past races, that outside line really comes in later on, that third line. And as we see, they've got 4 cars to the outside, only 2 cars in the middle. In NASCAR, they call that middle line the sucker hole, but in these cars, it really isn't. You can get up in there, even with just a single car. If you stay close enough to the inside, to the car to your inside or your outside, you can get that side draft and stay right there in that front row. And while all this is going on, we'll look back. The 2 cars moved from 13th up to 7th, the 01 of Christopher Rawlings. As we got a little smoke going through the turn, the 01 started in 12th. He is now up into 8th place. The 14 of Michael Thomas, or the 15, excuse me, of Michael Thomas, he is now running in 10th. He started in 14th. Derek Turner, though, he has been the biggest mover. He started in 16th. He is all the way up to 6th in that number 16 car. There's Derek, that black with red stripe in the middle. Looks like the Batmobile. And they stay 3 wide all the way around the track. These cars do move around quite a bit. The longer they're out there on tires, even though they've got a ton of downforce and they handle really well, those tires are really good and grip for a really long time. The longer they're out there, the more the wind starts to move them around. We saw it at Dover several months back, where as the tires wore, they could actually play and get under somebody's wing and get them loose. That's not going to be the case here, but you will see the cars start to move a lot more, be affected by the wind a lot more. Dwayne Kenner dropped into the chat to say, good luck, guys. The practice race was enough for him. That must have been one heck of a battle. I heard it was quite interesting. Might be why everybody's playing it just a little bit on the safe side for the moment. And it looks like the 91 of Tom Land gets a little bit of a run, and the outside line's getting a little bit of a run as well. But the 25 manages to pull back up just a little bit. Looked like he might have been slipping back just a hair. We'll have to see how this plays out with him as well. With the pit stops, he doesn't have to worry about running out of fuel. Coming down to complete 9 laps already of the 40 laps scheduled. Three wide, it looks like the inside line is starting to pick up a little momentum now. The 25 drifts way high, almost gets into the 007 there. As we look around the track, you can see it is starting to get a lot darker. James Belair at the back of the pack right now, just kind of playing it safe in the number 90 car. Let's see what it looks like from inside his car for a moment. He's got the advantage of all the cars in front of him, but you can see if they separate out any at all, and when they do pit stops, they probably will, it'll be very difficult for him to see the cars in front of them until they're really, really close to him. So this could get very dicey the darker it gets. Last time by, the 25 was scored as the leader, though. Oh, and Chris Standridge has a question for everybody in the chat. The winner, the first person to answer this question correctly in the chat will get their name on Chris Standridge's car next week. Here's the trivia question for the fans. First person to respond with the correct answer gets their name on my car next week. Who was the winner of the Winston 500 in 2000 at Talladega? It would be his last victory. And if you're any kind of NASCAR fan, that one comes to your mind immediately. So first one to respond with the correct answer in the chat will have their name on the 2 car next week, which is far, far better than having my face on it. As they come through turns 3 and 4, it looks like we're starting to get a little dicey back there behind Tom Land. It's like Brian Mansfield there in the Hooters car. He is starting to look down to the inside. They do have a yellow line rule in effect for tonight, but you can put those left sides down, and despite the difference in the banking there, you can put your left sides down there in these cars. There's enough downforce to hold it down there, hold it low, and not run into any problems, as you can see. And Jason Rome answers with the correct number. So Jason Rome, you will have your name on the 2 car next week. And yes, we cannot forget, next week on the 18th will be 20 years since he passed. And it is getting dark here at Talladega. The cars do, in a group, they put off a pretty big light, but once they get out there individually, it's not easy to see. When I tested these cars in the dark earlier, going down the back straightaway, if you're by yourself, you come out of turn 2, you cannot see the entrance to turn 3. So you're kind of having to pay attention, get up by the wall, pay attention to where you're at by markings on the wall so you can determine when you need to start turning in. iRacing. I will shoot your name over to Chris after the race so he is aware. So your name will be on that 2 car next week instead of my face. I knew Chris had something special in mind tonight for his car. Didn't know that was it. As the 25 gets a little bit of a jump, and we've seen this a couple of times out of Gerald, he'll run that middle line. He'll eventually work his way to where he can drop down to the bottom, and nobody else seems to be able to work that middle line quite like he can. So we'll see if he can get it back to the front, drop to the bottom, and then maintain that first position. But Tom Land is not giving in at all. He's got a little bit bigger line behind him as the pack comes through the tri-oval. And it is 3 wide pretty much from the second row on back. Nobody is falling off the back at the moment. It looks like Michael Grainolds and Norman Chan back there. Although James Belair in the 90 car, he is currently showing a lap down. Let's see where he's at. There he is out on track. Let's ride with him for just a second. You can see what I'm talking about. There's still a little bit of daylight here. But as he comes out of the turn, you can see how dark it is even with the lights on the car. Just barely see into the other end of the tri-oval. Looks like James stopped about 3 laps ago for tire, or at least for fuel. So we'll see if that strategy pays off. Not being in the draft is going to hurt him quite a bit. Tom Land still leading at the moment. Gerald Poole gets scored as the leader about every other lap. We'll see if he does this time by. Nope, it is Tom Land at the line again. So as Gerald Poole moves way up the track, trying to find some extra drafting help from the 007. And we've got, it looks like Superman Norman Chan back there is starting to make some moves. Yes, he is. He's going from the high line to the low line, trying to find some momentum. And it looks like he might have found a little bit. He was moving high line to low line. Now he's headed straight up the middle. Just not carrying that momentum. Once he gets to that middle line, he's not getting enough draft to pull right up. But he was definitely making some daring moves there for a moment. We'll see if he is settling down or if he's going to try some of that again here in just a moment. We've seen him hang out at the back, and a lot of times you'll see a couple of these guys like Doug Thomas, Michael Grainolds. They'll hang out here at the back. You'll see them run to the front or close to the front once or twice, and then they will back off to a safe place and then wait till the end of the race. Once they know what they have to do to get to the front, they kind of go back and chill out. Looks like the 25, Gerald Thanos Poole, was scored as the leader last time by. And I am really surprised. 16 laps into this 40-lap race, we're coming down to halfway. If James Belair is the only one to stop before the halfway point, that's kind of a shock. After about 5 or 6 laps, they could have gone the distance on fuel. So we'll see what the fuel strategy is for some of these guys. It could end up paying off for James Belair. You never know. He will be back into the pack before long. As they come around, they will pick him up. And it is getting much, much darker here at Talladega. It's going to get much, much harder for them to see at 180 miles an hour. 3 wide looking. A couple of guys looking like they wanted to make it 4 wide there. Thought better of it. Not quite halfway. We have seen some races where right at the halfway point, when they stepped it up a little bit, they actually started leaning on each other, beating and banging a little bit. And I'm curious with the lack of light tonight, how much of that we're going to see. And when we get the big one, that's going to be really interesting to see how everybody reacts to that in the dark. Still 3 wide at the front. But they all settle in about 2 wide back there. We've got another car up to the outside. He cannot carry any momentum. That looks like it's the 16 of Derek Turner on the outside, and he is starting to pick up some positions up there on the outside. Yep, there's the 16 of Derek Turner on the high side, the black with red trim car. But no, he falls back just a little bit. He had a little bit of a run there on the outside trying to get back up there to the 007 car. Looks like he's going to get some help. Got a little help from right behind him. We will see if that makes a difference or not. Looks like it's the 01 of Christopher Rawlings looking to help out just a little bit. And it looks like Superman Norman Chan has also settled down just a little bit back there for the time being anyway. Three wide at the front. The 007 looked like he had, looked like they touched briefly. The 25 and the 007 touching at the front of the pack. Both of them managed to maintain their positions and not wreck. That was some great saves by both of them. Both of them got a little out of shape there coming through the turns. As they come down the front straightaway, 3 wide through the pack. Two wide at the front now, 3 wide right behind them. The 1 car, Brian Mansfield, very low on the track. He has been doing that most of the night. He is looking to find a way around the 91 of Tom Land without breaking the yellow line rule. He looks down low, but Tom Land is not giving him any momentum, and that is Brian Mansfield's best bet to get around to the front. He is just waiting for that 91 car to make a mistake as the 007 shoots back to the outside again. And we can't count out anybody in this field. They're all still less than 1/10 of a second from 1st to 15th at the moment. Or I'm sorry, less than a second from 1st to 15th at the moment. So you can't count anybody out of this battle yet. We have seen him more than once, a last lap move through the field come in for the win. Halfway as we come out of turn 2, coming down the back straightaway. A lot of sparks flying when they come off of turn 2 from that middle and high line. Cars just bumping off the track. It is a little bit bumpy coming off turn 2 and coming through the tri-oval. And the 25 and the 007 get together again. Both of them managed to keep it going the right way, but they're definitely starting to turn things up a little bit. 007 looks like he is going to fall back a couple of positions, but he's still got some drafting help right behind him. They're going to try and make that outside line work. And it has gotten substantially darker here. Let's see what it looks like from the cockpit of the 91 car as they come out of turn 2. You cannot see the entry to turn 3 until you're halfway or more down the back straightaway. Still can't see it, still can't see it. There it is, there's turn 3. And then you're there a second later. So this, as it gets darker, things will get a bit more exciting. All of them within that little bit of light there, but once they do some pit stops, 19 laps to go, once we start seeing some pit stops, things will definitely change for these guys. And we've got one car on pit road. Looks like the 447 is on pit road. We'll see. Can he even see his pit stall? That is Mike Killenbeck going down pit road. No lights on pit road at all. He's got to go extra slow to make sure. And he does make it into his pit stall. Back up front, there's the 91 and the 25. And you know the 25 is thinking, I'm going to get in and get fuel early. I would expect to see him go as soon as he possibly can get to the inside. Mike Killenbeck still on pit road. He should be coming back off any moment now. He is back off of pit road as these guys come through turns 3 and 4. This is something you will not see anywhere else, folks. This is a bit crazy. I called a race in the fog at California a few months ago and thought that was one of the most odd things I'd seen until tonight. This one definitely takes the cake. And they are 3 wide all the way through the field as that outside line still scraping as they come through turns 2, or come off turn 2 onto the back straightaway. The front 3 rows are 3 wide and almost 4 wide as the 25 slips back. 25 slips back as the 52 jumps up there to the front. Mark Belair now to the front. He's going to see if he can get a little help from the 25. 25 moves up really high in front of the 007. It looks like the 25 is trying to work his way back to the back of the field. Looks like he's thinking about getting to pit road here before too much longer. He has been up at the front, has not saved any fuel at all. Him and the 007 side by side as they come through 1 and 2. Looks like he's going to get back to the back cleanly. Tom Land still at the front, but now he has to contend with the 52 of Mark Belair to the outside, and Mark is not going to make it easy on him. But it looks like Mark is all alone out there, at least for the moment. 91 and 52 get together a little bit going into turn 3. Everybody manages to stay fairly calm coming through 3 and 4. And we will see if anybody else towards the back of the field comes down pit road. 25 is still out there. He's got several cars back there with him. 16 laps to go. I would imagine they're not going to wait more than another 5 laps to make their pit stops. And even though he has dropped back there, he is still in the draft. These cars can pick up the draft from over half a second back. So it is not hard to regain the field. He might even be trying to stretch that fuel by hiding back there. In the meantime, looks like the 52 of Mark Belair scored a leading 1 lap last time by. Tom Land there on the inside. Then you've got Brian Mansfield in the Hooters car on the inside, and the 16 of Michael Thomas on the outside in that tie-dye car. And here comes the 007 again to the outside. Edward Belair up there all by himself. Doesn't look like he's going to get anything going, but these cars gain a ton of momentum really easily. He's going to try and side draft. Looks like we've got a little bit of blocking there from the 15 of Michael Thomas. Edward Belair just can't get anything done yet. 14 laps to go. As they come through 3 and 4 back to the front straightaway, let's see if we see anybody duck down pit road. I'm not seeing any cars that look like they are slowing down for pit entry. Nope, nobody takes that left turn onto pit road. 52 again scored as the leader when they crossed the start-finish line. And now you've got the 2 car back there, third in line on the inside. The inside line is just stretching all the way back across the back straightaway right now. "13 laps to go." And we'll see if anybody pulls off coming down pit road this time by. No takers. As the leaders come by across the start finish line, looks like we're going to be at 12 laps to go. Now it becomes a question of who is going to blink first and go to pit road, and is anybody going to be able to go the distance on the fuel? Some of these guys that have been back there mid-pack, like Chris Standridge, Edward Belair. Well, Edward Belair's been up there fighting, but Chris Standridge, James Johnson, Matt Stewart, Derek Turner, even Norman Chan. Some of these guys might actually have a chance to stretch it if they've been very, very easy on the gas pedal. It's not the helmet on the 2 car that yeah. There you go, Dwayne. All right, so far Mike Killenbeck and James Belair are the only 2 to have hit pit road. Both of them managing to maintain the lead lap right now. 11 laps to go. We will see as they come out of turn 2. I've expected to see a couple of these guys 3 or 4 laps ago, so we're going to see how long these guys stretch it. And we know they can go to about 5 laps to go on the fuel they have, maybe 6, 7 laps to go. But you got to think some of them are thinking about getting to pit road this time by. Not seeing anybody slowing down for pit road. We've got, nope. Thought we had a taker, but we did not. And I'm beginning to think some of these guys think they can go the distance if they can conserve enough fuel. Right now, Tom Land up there in the front, he's got to be wondering if he can make his fuel last. He has been up at the front the whole night, started in first, been in first, led every lap. At least been at the front of the field every lap. A couple of different guys have managed to lead right as they cross the start-finish line on the outside. But the 91 and the 1 have led the field around most of the night. As they cross the start finish line, it'll be 9 laps to go, and we are single file in the front, and half the field just came in. Mark Belair, Derek Turner, Norman Chan, Chris Rawlings, Doug Thomas, Gerald Poole, Michael Graynolds, all on pit road. I would imagine we will see this lead pack hit pit road this time by. see if they do, as some of these guys starting to get back off of pit road now. Looks like Derek Turner's back off pit road. Michael Granels is back off pit road. Leaders are ducking on to pit road. The 2 lead cars are on pit road. Looks like they're going to bring one more with them back there. And we have 3 cars that stay out. Looks like the one of Brian Mansfield, James Johnson, and Matt Stewart, all 3 elected to stay out. Norman Chan, Gerald Poole back off of pit road as well. They are quite a ways back from this lead pack. And now that this pack has gotten smaller, this is what it looks like coming down the back straightaway. Oh, we've got a car up there lighting the way. A couple of them. Looks like that is going to end up being possibly Derek Turner, Michael Granels, Mike Killenbeck, James Belair, and Chris Rawlings. It has definitely gotten dark here at Talladega, and it looks like that 3rd place car, Matt Stewart, might not have as much light power. Maybe it's just me, but his lights do not look that bright. Let's see what the view looks like. Part of it is he is tucked right up under the back bumper of the car in front of him. Those 3 lead cars, all of them have been in the draft all night. None of them have been up there fighting as we get 7 laps to go. I don't know that anybody can stretch it more than 36 laps or so, but we'll see. Maybe one of these guys can pull it off. It would not be Brian Mansfield. I don't think he has been leading this 3-car pack since the cars in front of him dropped off, but possibly Matt Stewart could. James Johnson might be a bit of a stretch, but he might be able to do it. And it looks like this pack is going to give up the lead, drop down pit road with 7 laps to go, coming down to 6 laps to go. And I do believe that is going to relinquish the lead to the 9 car of Superman Norman Chan. We will see when he comes around, and scoring updates. And you can see how dark it has gotten on track when you're out there by yourself. Looks like the car in front of him is blinking just a little bit. That's got to be disconcerting. Can't quite tell who that is yet, but it can't be a comforting feeling as they come around. All right, looks like the lead actually went to the 1 car, Brian Mansfield. Looks like that's the 007 that is up high blinking at the moment, but here comes Norman Chan to the outside, and he'll have the momentum. Don't know that it's going to be enough to get up there to the 1 car and get around him before the start-finish line, but he's definitely got the momentum as those 2 cars of James Johnson and Brian Mansfield come off pit road. As we come around, we'll be coming down to 5 laps to go. Caution is out. Let's see if we can find what happened. Looks like we are looking at the car of Chris Standridge as he goes into the turn. Can't tell. It looked like he just checked up a little too hard and got up into the wall and ended up on his lid. And that was definitely the most interesting crash you've ever seen. Or not seen, I guess would be a more appropriate way of putting that. So he will get towed to pit road. And that's going to bunch everybody back up with 5 laps to go. I do believe once everything cycles around, we will be down to a green-white checker type situation with Brian Mansfield in the lead, Norman Chan in second, James Johnson third, Matt Stewart fourth, and Tom Land back in fifth. Gerald Thanospool can go the distance from here. He's in sixth. Michael Thomas seventh. Derek Turner eighth. Mike Killenbeck is ninth. Michael Grainolds back there in 10th. And everybody has cycled through. They've all been on pit road. James Belair and Mike Killenbeck both had stopped earlier in the race, but everybody can go the distance from here. Looks like the 007 of Edward Belair still having some problems. He is currently being shown as 1 lap down. And obviously the 2-car of Chris Standridge, is going to be at least out of contention for the win tonight. As they pace around, don't forget to tune back in next Wednesday night to watch these guys run. And obviously you can tune in Sunday night and watch the BRR guys on Sunday nights in the Cup Series. Monday nights we have the Outcast Dirt Boys in the 305s at 8:30 Eastern, followed by the 358s at 10 Eastern. Tuesday nights we have the XCal Street Stock Series at 7:30 Eastern, and Wednesday nights we have Northeast Racer Street Stock Hardcore Series at 7:30 Eastern, followed by these boys in the Outcast SR8s at 9 Eastern. And you can tune in throughout the week for random racing streams from me. And don't forget to go. We are live on Facebook and Twitch, and the videos will be on YouTube later tonight by morning at the latest, so you definitely can go and watch just the race only portion of the broadcast. And let's hop in the car of Brian Mansfield. I'm just curious how it looks from his cockpit at this point. Sky's pretty much completely dark as he's up here by the pace car. He has the advantage of having all that light behind him, but it does make it a little bit tricky when they're at speed, especially those cars. When they got all spread out, that might have been part of the issue that Chris had that caused the accident and the caution to come out. Should be getting the one to go this time by. Definitely makes racing here at night, definitely makes it interesting to watch. If nothing else, the way the cars light the track, I know of a person that tried to do a cup race at night here when he forgot that they didn't have lights, and he said that was kind of insane, especially driving off into turn 1. Cup cars don't have headlights. All right, 1 lap to green. They are lining back up side by side. 14 cars on the lead lap. This truly will be anybody's race as they restart. Anybody there all the way at the back of the field on the lead lap could still make their way through this field as they come up to speed. They can carry enough momentum around, they could get to the front and win this thing, so we will see how this plays out. Yes, Kevin Reed is correct. It was Tyler. Good guess. Remember that incident well, don't we? All right. Going through 3 and 4, can't see a thing. At least from the cars, this is going to be a very interesting restart. We'll see if anybody has the can make it from the back to the front. But Superman's right there at the front, and he's got Brian Mansfield to the inside. I would imagine if somebody wants to win, and we've seen it done, they're going to have to make it 3 wide to the outside again and bring people with them. And it would not be a surprise to see a 4 or 5 wide finish here tonight. Pace car is going to drive down pit road. And we'll see if any lights suddenly come moving through the field here in a moment. Start-finish line is at the exit of the tri-oval. Looks like we've got a car hopping down pit road. I do believe that's Edward Belair. Green flag is in the air. Brian Mansfield gets a good jump on the cars behind him. It looks like James Johnson might have held back just a little bit on that. We'll have to see how that plays out. Might have been a strategy move. As we've got him looking to the middle there. 25 of Gerald Thanos Poole back there in the mix as well. Come off of turn 2. We are 3 wide down the back straight away. Gerald Thanos Poole is looking to make it 4 wide. So is the 07 car right there. That is Matt Stewart in that bottom line in the 07 car, the Dunkin' Donuts car. He was looking for a line straight up the middle. He's not going to get it, but Thanos might. Superman Norman Chan moves up. No, the 07 car looks like he might move to the middle. He is not. That outside line is still trying to form up out there. As we come down to the white flag, we'll see how dicey this thing gets here. And we've got one looking 4 wide to the outside back there. It's the number 91. Brian Mansfield still manages to maintain the lead. We've seen him riding with the left sides below the yellow all night long. And we've got one car dropping below the yellow line. Looked like he was trying to check up just a little bit, going down the back straightaway, going off into turn 3. We are 3 wide. 07 is giving a push, trying to find a gap. He tries to move up. Thanos tries to move down. They touch a little bit on entry to turn 3. Both of them are trying to get right there between Mansfield and Superman. Nobody's doing it, and now we are 3 wide, looking 4 wide to the outside. Coming through the tri-oval, they are 4 wide right behind Superman Norman Chan. Will he be able to bring it down? He's trying to block low. The one car has the line. It was Brian Mansfield at the line, just barely. Brian Mansfield brings home the win tonight in a darkened Talladega race. And that was a little bit crazy. We did not have a big one tonight, which comes as a shock. But don't worry, stick around for a minute. They're going to take care of that for you while Brian celebrates. Really impressive driving, especially by the 07 and the 25 there at the end. They were side by side all the way through that turn, all the way through that last lap, bumping and banging through there. So it was some impressive driving for neither of them to have wrecked and to take out the whole field. That was pretty impressive. We will get to talk to a few of them here in a moment, but let's let them get their celebration knocked out here. As Brian checks up by the exit to pit road. Looks like he's got some help coming from behind. We will see what happens here. Brian goes straight to the outside wall. This might be a little bit harder with them not having any lights. Brian's going to turn around and take the lap backwards. Nope, he manages to spin it down to the inside. He is definitely going to melt the tires. Where is all the help to celebrate on this one? I see some light coming from 2 different directions. Will he get Oh, looks like the 25 there got into him. Couldn't get anything going as far as getting him into the air, but we've got more help coming from behind. Oh, he's gone. He went to another country, another state, maybe another planet. I'm not sure. There's a 16. Looks like he was one of the ones that helped send the car of Brian Mansfield to the moon. And it looks like the celebration is complete. As Tom Land goes around the track, and it looks like Brian Mansfield, race winner, has joined us. Congratulations, Brian.
Thank you, Doug.
Uh,
Man, that was a wild race.
yeah, it was. And there at the end, there was a lot of beating and banging right behind you and right beside you. Did it have you worried?
Yeah, a little bit, but I had my teammate, Team Ramrod, Matt behind me, pushed me to the finish, and I appreciate that. We had a good pitch strategy going on, and we had a big lead on everybody. Then the caution came out. Thank goodness I was ahead after the caution came out. Was able to bring it home. Appreciate Michael putting on the league and you broadcasting it. But big thanks to Matt for pushing me to the victory.
Yeah, was it? I noticed about halfway through the race at the front, you'd come out of turn two. You could not see the entry to turn three. It had gotten so dark. Was that causing any problems later on?
Not really. It wasn't. It wasn't that bad. We were all packed up. The last probably 5 laps or so, whenever that last couple of that caution came out, that's when it really got dark. But wasn't that bad though. It was a good race.
All right, congratulations, man. Go celebrate. Great race.
Appreciate it, Doug, and thank you for broadcasting.
My pleasure. And Superman Norman Chan joins us. Good second place finish. Looked like you were going to have it coming through the tri-oval.
No, that was a great race. Going into it, unfortunately we had that caution because I think four of us up front would have probably had a nice battle up there. But tried to make the most of the restart. I had the outside line at Talladega. These cars, I think the inside has the advantage. Jerry was trying to give me a nice push from behind, and it was close. It was a very tight finish. Great racing by everyone.
Well, congratulations. Like I said, if you watch the replay, the last lap, it coming through the tri-oval, it really looked like you had it there. I think the one car just got a little bit more of a push coming through, but all in all, great finish tonight, man.
Well, thank you, Doug. It's a long season, and we're all racing for points. I'll take a second place finish tonight.
All right, congratulations. And it looks like Gerald Thanos Poole is with us.
How you doing tonight, sir?
I am good, and you did not run out of fuel tonight. Congratulations.
Thanks God for that caution because I made a pit stop and left myself about a third of a lap short. But we had a caution and made up for it and had some fun there at the end.
I honestly expected you to make it the distance. I didn't realize you had shorted yourself on fuel. Makes sense. You got off pit road really quickly, but even still, that's a lucky break for you.
Oh yeah, I'll take lucky breaks all the time in this league because one little mistake can cost you an awful lot, and I had a little mistake, and I don't know who caused the caution, but I'm going to send them a set of flaming karma koozies.
No, please don't, because I saw his car. Don't send him anything other than next week. Send him into the fence for me, would you?
That'll be no problem. And hey, man, thank you for all you do, and Michael for the league. And hey, it was one of those nights. I don't know where I may have fourth or fifth or something like that. So, but hey, to be there at the end, especially with all the gas and those pit stop strategies, was really good. And I mean, those last 2 laps were intense.
Yes, they were. Well, congratulations. You looks like you came home fifth. Great race, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. Talk to you later.
All right. It looks like we got third place finisher, the 15 car, excuse me, Michael Thomas with us. Hey, Michael, you got me?
You got the wrong Michael.
Oh, which Michael do I have? Sorry.
You got Michael Reynolds.
Oh, my mistake. Sorry, Michael. I couldn't tell by the name there. You came home 10th. That was definitely an interesting race tonight.
What'd you think of that race?
Well, other than the two cars unique paint job, it was actually a really interesting, fun race to watch.
Yeah, well, in the daytime when you're doing Talladega, it's just follow the leader pretty much. So we like to change it up a little bit.
Well, that was definitely an exciting race tonight, and the lights definitely brought on the extra intensity for sure. So great race you put on tonight, man.
Thanks, I appreciate it. There's Michael.
Hey, there's Michael Thomas. Michael,
Hey,
congratulations on a third place finish and a wild finish at that.
hey, thank you guys so much. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, okay, awesome. Sorry, I just downloaded Discord. Yeah, no, thank you. It was a fantastic race. Racing in the dark at Talladega is absolutely wild. I can't believe it.
You were up front a couple of different times, and was it a little disconcerting coming down the back straightaway, not being able to see the entry to turn three?
Yeah, I mean, it really was. Honestly, I mean, I did the practice race beforehand, but still, it just threw me off. Just the darkness of everything. It was different.
That it was. Actually look forward to another attempt at this sometime in the future.
Yeah, that would be absolutely fantastic. I mean, the fact that we actually all finished no problems is great. But yeah, I'd love another night race. I mean, this is great.
Oh, it was definitely a great race to watch, and definitely a great finish for you. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you guys so much.
All right.
Yeah, I want
Oh, sorry, Michael.
to say everybody's racing clean too. It was a great race.
Yeah, it really was a great race and a lot of clean racing. A little bit of beating and banging there, but everybody managed to hold on to it, and it was a great finish. Despite the darkness, stayed three wide most of the race.
I just want to thank the drivers for racing so good. It was an awesome race. I thought it was.
Oh, it definitely was. Well, congratulations on another great race, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again next week.
Alrighty, buddy. Thank you for everything. I appreciate it.
All
Have
right,
a good one.
you too. All right. Thank you to all the drivers for putting on one heck of a show in the dark tonight. That was definitely something new and interesting. And look forward to maybe seeing that happen again in the near future. That would be really cool. Uh, and for everybody at the Outcast family of leagues and for everybody here, thank y'all for tuning in tonight for what was definitely something different, new, and exciting. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a great night.